I'm back making video game reviews on YouTube. Let me start off by saying this. I ain't no fucking Russian. I'm Jewish American. But I don't believe in my religion, so I go to Roman Catholic Church. I made 3 videos 8 years ago. In those videos, I reviewed the Nintendo GameCube, the Xbox 360, and Contra 4 for the Nintendo DS. The reason I made those videos was on purpose, not intentional. I'm not going to repeat anything I've said in those videos. I did those videos 8 years ago. The reason I said the things I've said in those videos, the reason I've done those things I've done in those videos, the reason I did those videos was on purpose to make people laugh. I made a fucking jackass out of myself. I get made fun of, but I made those videos on purpose to make people laugh. And I never left YouTube. I just deleted those accounts and created a new one. I would never leave YouTube because of the haters. I don't give a fucking shit about the haters. I don't care what anybody says about me. I get laughed at and made fun of, but I don't give a shit. I make video game reviews just for fun, not to make myself or anybody else look good. I do video game reviews just for fucking fun. What else can I say? Oh yeah, I don't give a fucking shit what the haters say about me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own freedom of speech, like I'm entitled to mine. So I don't give a fucking shit what the haters say. I'm back making video game reviews, and I'll continue making video game reviews. The only reason I deleted those accounts was because I thought, not because of the haters. The only reason I deleted those accounts because I thought people would not find my videos interesting enough. Anyways, I'm back making video game reviews on YouTube. If you like them, you like them. If you don't like them, don't like them. I don't give a fucking shit if people like my videos or not. I'm not here to make myself look good or I'm not here to make myself look good or anybody else look good. I'm doing video game reviews just for fun. If you like, you like. If you don't like, don't like. I don't give a fucking shit. That's all I gotta say. I'm back making video games reviews on YouTube.
Okay, all ready to go? Let's get started! I'll start the game.
Just wanted to let you know I will not be drinking a Ghost energy drink, even though it is thematically fitting to Death Stranding with the ghosts and the beach and all. I will be drinking an actual Monster energy drink, and they are not going to patch it out. This is canon. Welcome everyone to the cool stream on this Wednesday. This is June 25th. How are we even doing this? How are we playing Death Stranding? I've been playing it since yesterday, in fact. I had to put it down because I wanted to start off today's stream in a kind of a spoiler-free area. So I played through most of the intro. I'm still kind of in the prologue area. So it's very early game stuff I'm going to be showing you. By the way, This is not the game. This is just a wallpaper engine thing I've got going here for the monitor. So if you see Sam, that's from Death Stranding 1. But I did make this like little Chiralium background. You see, like we're not in the void space. We're in the Chiralium fields. Or, you know, a little gold dust, a little ghost dust in here. What do we got in here? Keep this up, Hikiko. I have to go to sleep soon. You fucked up. It's going to be a good one. Now I'll keep it up. I've been keeping my streams up, and if you're ever, curious about an old stream, they're always on the Cool Stream playlist. That's the official archive, or you can click the live stream tab. Frog Minutes, what's up? Faith there's in here. Been waiting. You said you've been waiting for this since 2020. I felt like I was a lone voice way back when the first Death Stranding came out. I just liked it. There was no pretense. There was no ironically liking it. I sincerely love Death Stranding, as you can clearly see here. Big bald head bros, where you at? We're fully in character today. You can't see me. I don't have a Bridges hat. I want to get a Bridges hat. He's got a new hat, by the way. Sam Norman Reedus has a new hat in this game, and it goes, "Why me?" I'd like to get that hat, but this is the hat I got at GameStop. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get a little closer here. That's a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hat. You see it? You see it? I don't own many hats, but this is a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hat that I got at GameStop. They gave it to me for buying the game. All right. Who else we got in here? We got Jason Blundell, what's up? Snake says, I honestly expected Death Stranding 2 to have different gameplay than 1, since a lot of people found it boring. I don't know, man. I think it's a vocal minority, because everyone that I've personally met that actually sat down and gave Death Stranding a chance, put an actual 10 hours in to learn the mechanics and understand the terminology which the game feeds you over and over again. What really pissed me off, okay, a little tangent before we get into the main course here. What really pissed me off about Death Stranding is like how disingenuous people are being towards it. I'm going to tell you right now, if you've ever uttered the word Kojumbo, if you've ever said code jumbo in my presence, I've disregarded everything you've ever thought forever. That is total Reddit bullshit. For anyone who says that Death Stranding has like some big coded complex plot, wasn't really paying attention. I mean, like, its themes are very present. It's about connection. It's got that motherhood, fatherhood aspect to it, very much in the same way that Silent Hill 4 does. Like, the motifs are very evident. As well as, like, as I said, the game provides a codex of all the new terminology. Every character explains the different sci-fi elements going on. And at the very end of the game, it recaps all the big plot points before it drives it home. It's not real. I hate saying it like this, but it's not that deep, bro. It really isn't. And for people who come out there and say that they're the most media literate people around and that they have all the best takes and shit, they really swept this one under the like, no, sorry, this is just too pretentious for me. I don't understand. I just think it was the thing to do at the time, and now that here we are 5 years later, I for one never thought Death Stranding would get a sequel, but I'm so elated it did. But 5 years later, now we have like all these revisionists coming out like, no, I was always cool with Death Stranding. I never called it a cum delivery simulator. No, you got the wrong guy. That was this other guy. Liars. Disingenuous liars, and they besmirch Kojima's name like he hasn't earned his flowers. Like these same people were behind Kojima and like feeling, I don't know, like feeling sorry for him after the whole Konami debacle and PT debacle, and then when he comes out with like one of the most original games, unlike anything else he's ever done or almost anyone's ever done, like who would take such a bold risk on a somewhat delivery. There is a delivery aspect, but there's also supernatural sci-fi, like cross between the world of the living and the dead, and like star-studded cast. And people also act like that's a big mark against Kojima for getting real celebrity talent behind it. And yeah, I'm not saying like Norman Reedus is like the best actor in the world, but he commits to it. Matt Mikkelsen commits to it. Lea Seydoux commits to it. All these ridiculous concepts, you know why they commit to it? Because it's just like a film. It's just like an indie movie. They look at the material, they converse with the director, they converse with like the other actors, and they perform. Like what's the big problem? Did you want every person on there to be Troy Baker? Like, would that have made it a better experience? I think they're still salty about Kiefer Sutherland from Metal Gear 5. I think that was it. I think they're like, oh, Kojima's gone big Hollywood. But let him. The dude made Snatcher. The dude made Police Knots. How many like esoteric artsy games is he allowed to do before he makes, you know, his own blockbuster? And I wouldn't even consider Death Stranding to be like your typical AAA game. It is one of the biggest risks you can ever make as a director. It means you have full faith in your ideas, in your vision. So fuck all these pretentious people that, oh, Kojumbo coming in with his pretentious, like, no. No. If you liked him during Metal Gear, you better damn well like him for Death Stranding. That's all I gotta say on the matter. I've been part of Bridges, okay, since the beginning. I got a platinum trophy. I showed you my Porter card. I didn't just give up on it. I didn't just come out here like PC Gamer and saying that, oh, Death Stranding 2 only runs in 30 frames. Didn't do my homework. Like, I hope AI replaces all games journalism. Because they're fucking lazy. I've had enough. I've had enough of this. Death Stranding is the best. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I'm not backtracking on anything I said. What I said back then when I made my review is what I feel now. Let's get it. Let's go. I've had enough of it. This is going to be a stream, all right. I'm going to show you so much cool shit I've been working on, though. All right, let's get rid of this. My PS5 fell asleep waiting for me, so let's boot it back up. But yes, I do have Death Stranding ready to go. I think I've played about 10 hours, maybe not that many, but I've played about 10 hours. Here we are. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Promises made, promises kept. He got it. How does he have this? It doesn't come out till tomorrow. Akiko's got connections, baby. It's really not that hard to get this, but let's load. Let's see where we're at. I'll try and explain as best as possible here. But right now, I think I was like out in the middle exploring here, and that's my marker over here. So I have to deliver some lost cargo, and I'm connecting Mexico right now. I hope you boys like Mexico. But this is where we're at right now. This is the prologue of the game, so it's like not anything particularly spoilery. But this is Mexico. You start off here. Sam, by the way, is still alive. That's the spoiler from Death Stranding 1. But Sam's been on he's been in hiding since the events of Death Stranding 1. And then right now, the UCA is kind of like using him as a freelancer to connect other parts of the world. So we're moving out of the United States and we're going down south to Mexico. And so right now, this is like these are the areas I've connected, and then I've got to connect this danger zone over here. But right now, I've just been doing some side hustle stuff right now. First of all, I want to say PC Gamer put out a hit piece on Death Stranding. Somebody who was working there has a PS5 and was playing in 30 frames because they were playing in cinematic mode, like wherever it has like all the higher quality textures. And I haven't played it in that because like I even played the original in performance mode. I played the original Death Stranding on my PS4 Pro. But this is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. And it's not too, like, if you've never played Death Stranding, I would compare the controls very similar to Metal Gear Solid 5. But also, it's kind of its own thing. It's not so much about the violence, it's more about making connections and optimizing routes. And just really committing to the world and the weirdness about it. Like, that's the reason why Kojima's games are memorable, is because he's one of the weirdest in the bunch. Like, yeah, he can make, like, a big grand war epic with, you know, explosions and violence and stuff like that, but there's also so many other layers of weirdness in between that keeps me coming back, at least. I can only speak for myself. So, anyway, this, if you don't know, there are these various points throughout the game where you deliver to people and you build up relationships and connections with them. And like if you get a 5-star relationship, they'll give you some sort of gift. And you also have to like build up at least one to bring them into the chiral network. The chiral network is hard to explain, but it's sort of the internet that runs on the souls of the dead. Anyway, I've got a lot of lost packages here, so I'm going to return all of these. And you encounter like all these lost packages out and about throughout the world, and this is how you make connections with other players. It's kind of got an ambient online mode about it. And people can like build structures, and they can leave like your Dark Souls notes, warning you about upcoming dangers or pits, or maybe there's a treasure nearby. And your reputation is built around likes, okay? Likes. And the more likes you get, the better porter grade you get. And this time around, Sam has stats, so you're going to get to see those right now. So I also got a blueprint to make some new weapons. I got a firmware update, which allows the bandwidth so I can build more structures. And then I got more resources, which you can use for crafting. And this is the most important thing. This is your porter card. So it describes basically who you are. So I guess I'm an adept handler level 2. And it tells you like basically how far somebody got into the game. So I've just started Death Stranding too, so I'm a very amateur porter. But I had the great deliverer, like the Jesus of deliveries in the first game. And the people who are the most harsh critics, the harshest critics against the first game, would never show their porter cards. That's how you know somebody's a fraud. If they'll criticize the game and not show you their porter card, that's how you know you got them. So hold them to that journalistic standard. Don't believe them unless they're posting that porter card up front. All right, so I'll kind of give you a little tour. There's a day-night cycle they just added, and it's so gorgeous. Like, look at that gradient. Beautiful. I've got nobody has left me a like on my keep on keeping on. I think I'm going to remove it. This sign that I left here, not a single like, so I got to try harder. We got to think of something else. People leave each other notes and junk like that. I got a delivery I got to make to the 3rd connection point in the prologue. By the way, this is early game stuff. I'm talking like the first maybe 10 hours, so I'm not going to spoil anything major, but you can fabricate all this stuff starting out. Ladders you can like lay down as platforms. PCCs, you can build various structures, boots, guns and stuff. And the guns are non-lethal for the most part. I think you can set them to lethal, but you don't want to kill anyone in this world. And I'll tell you why. I'll try and like explain it in the the most basic terms. Because, like, as I said, this is a sci-fi game. It has its own logic, and what, I don't know, it's like one of those cell phones. Like, when people say that, like, Death Stranding is so complicated in its lore and it's just being pretentious for pretentious sake. Like, no, it's a sci-fi story. Like, have you never grown up reading any sci-fi literature novels in your life? It's just, I don't know. It's disheartening to hear the masses come out and trash on something so wonderful like this. Anyway, like the sortie menu in Metal Gear 5, Sam can, you know, swap around all his equipment. And Sam has a cargo limit, so you can see all these, like, different attachments and stuff. And it's so detailed right now. Like, the texture work is phenomenal. I don't know if that's coming through on the stream, but some of the best-looking character models I've ever seen. Like, Norman Reedus has never looked so bad. No, it never looked so good. This is all the crap I'm carrying with me. I got, like, 3 pairs of boots. Your boots wear out as you go along. Anyway, let's see if I can make my way... What do we got here? So we've got hostiles. I'm trying to figure out where the other one is. So I just came from there. So I think I have to go up this way to connect the rest of it. So let's go and see if there's a main mission to do. Or I could just fuck around and do side stuff. You let me know what you want to see, chat. This was a real tattoo. I got ink right before the stream. We're big bald head bros in here. That's permanent. That's for life. I'm committed. All right, so this one says recover all chiral density gauges stolen by bandits. They're up in the mountains over there.
Are you ready? Then the order you undertake.
So essentially, I just have to do a stealth mission, or you can do it any way you want, really. You can go about it stealthy and tie people up and knock them out, or you can like just go in guns blazing if you want. I try stealth. It really depends. Like I'm more stealthy like later on in the game when I have better equipment. Okay. We're going to offload that one because I already got 2 on me. And then that looks good. Let's head out. I think I'm carrying way too much, but we'll see. This is all the equipment, by the way, so I can wear some sunglasses, or the Luden's mask. I'm going to wear some sunglasses. Also, I've got like different boots, so like the boots have... And sandals. I've crafted my own sandalweed sandals. I got this Why Me hat I'm wearing, and that's it. I don't have much right now. So we're going to use the Aura deck here. It sends out like a pulse on the ground, and what that does is it allows you to see the climbable terrain, as well as if there's like any lost packages. The main thing is, like, if you see a red X, that means it's it's a trip hazard. Right now, Sam doesn't have a BB on him, so if you didn't like the Yoshi's Island screaming baby aspect, the game doesn't start out with one. I don't know if I'll get one later or not, so I can't say, but it starts off very basic. You can also do stuff like go in here, and I think I got a climbing anchor. Not that I need to use one, but I'll just show you for an example. You can stake it in the ground here, and other players can access that. So if it'll like spawn in somebody else's game, and they can leave you likes. So instead of just running down that mountainside, I'm just gonna place a stake and you know, be safe, save a little stamina, not damage my boots as much, and we'll just leave it right there. And I can always remove that. I can go into the map and despawn it if I want to. And you can also just jump. He has a double jump. He learns a double jump in the first game, and that's one of the skills that carries over. Not a lot carries over, by the way. I was surprised how little, but I guess that's fine. I'd rather start from square one and, you know, build up and see what this game has to offer. You think this is coming out for Switch 2? I don't know. Maybe not for a while. It may be a cloud version, like they did with Resident Evil. Okay, so my map is all fucked because I set a waypoint straight up that mountain. And I'm going to have to find another way to traverse up that mountain because there's no way I can scale it that way. I don't have that kind of climbing gear. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all the markers here. And then we're going to redraw. So we're going to go from where we're standing to over here to here to there. And then that should be it. Now I'm going to be encountering enemies. Let's see what I got. In terms of the defense, I've got an assault rifle, which I think has rubber bullets in it. I have a taser. And then I also have the strand, which is a rope, essentially. I'm still getting used to the controls. Forgive me. Yeah, the strand right here. And you can tie up enemies, including Higgs in the first game. Somebody had commented on my review. It's like, oh, I didn't know you could tie up Higgs. I was like, yep, you could tie up almost every one of the bosses. All the humanoid ones, at least. Look at the foliage here. It's gorgeous. Anyway, so we're going to use our aura deck here. And we're going to try and sense enemies. And like Metal Gear 5, you can use your binoculars and mark them on the map, too. So. Looks like there's a package or something over here. We got some resins. I try and collect little packages as I go along. You want materials. Materials are used for building structures and roads, as well as fabricating weapons and equipment. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh! Okay, so these are chiral beasts. I haven't really figured out how to take care of all of them, but see those tarantulas? Those are chiral beasts. They sap away little bits of your blood. They're a new enemy in Death Stranding 2. I think just the best way is just to run and just stomp on them. So we're just gonna do our best. I think it's because I found their nest. If you see like the little black tar on the ground there, that's their nest. But they have chiralium crystals, and chiralium crystals, the best way I can say, it's like an exclusive material that's brought over from the beach, which is the land of the dead. And the properties they have make you lighter. So a lot of things are powered by them. And if Sam carries like over 1,000 grams of them, it deducts 1 kilogram of weight from his pack. So the more chiralium crystals he has, the lighter his load, apparently. They're also used as building materials as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that have surprised me so far. There's like environmental things, like weather. I've been in a rainstorm. I've been in a dust storm so far. I think that's about it. I've only encountered 2 natural disasters. And I'm not sure if they're area specific or if they're on a timer or something like that, just part of a system. But I've already noticed some things that Death Stranding accidentally borrowed from Deadly Premonition. So when I make a video on Death Stranding 2, I'll bring those up. But I won't tell you what they are here. Alright, so we're going to kind of scout this area out. So far, it seems safe. So I feel comfortable enough to run. But, so this game promotes hoarding precious supernatural resources just like real life. Everything in this game is treated as a precious resource, including life. That's sort of the point here. The world has become disconnected, in a sense, due to the events of the Death Stranding, which is essentially an invasion from the land of the dead to the world of the living. And there's also other things like timefall, where the rain ages you rapidly and rust decays structures. And people naturally went underground because they can't see the ghosts. Sam has what they call dooms, which is like a disease that I think allows you to see the ghosts, and in conjunction with a BB, he can kind of detect them. So that's why he's a porter. And porters, they live on the surface world, and they go around delivering precious resources and supplies to the people living in the bunkers down below. And he's also a repatriate. He's so many things. He's such a Mary Sue. But he's also a repatriate, which means he's somewhat immortal. So, like, if he dies, he'll go to the beach, and then his soul will be reunited back on the land of the living, and he'll be reborn. I won't tell you why that is. It is explained why that happens at the end of Death Stranding 1, but that you learn that early on, so that's like not a major spoiler, but he's what they call a repatriate. A repatriate, if you will. He's repatronizing the United States, or the UCA, the United Cities of America. His mother is also the president of the United States, the former. May she rest in peace. All right. Looks like we're going to be getting fairly close. I see somebody's footprints there. Oh, somebody left me a tether. That's nice. One thing I want to promote while I'm here, while I'm playing Death Stranding. Leave that like. Big ball head bros, where you at? Leave that like. We're in character now. When we see a useful structure, we spam that like button. So let's take a look here. Just like Metal Gear, you can zoom in, and if there's anyone down there, so let's see if I can scan them. I don't see any signs of life just yet, but I know we're closing in on an enemy base. I think it's like way out there. But when you highlight them, they get marked instantly. So the base is across that river. I don't think there's anyone down there, so we'll just go ahead and climb this. Looks like Sam is not stumbling that much in DS2. Well, Sam has new stats, and he does stumble. It just depends on the terrain. There's like loose gravel, there's sand and snow and water and all sorts of different terrain for him to stumble on. And it also depends on the weight. So the amount of shit he's carrying on his body also determines his balance. But you can also build it up too. You can also get better boots. There's so much to it. For all those people that like games like Ark Survival and Minecraft and all these other survival games, like I'm surprised like how adverse people were to Death Stranding. I just don't understand people, that's all. So yeah, I'm on an incline here, so he is sliding a bit more, but I'm holding on for grip at the moment. I got that grippy. All right, here we go. I'm gonna scope out the area. There are mules in here. They are essentially bandits. What they do is they steal packages and try and incapacitate you. In the world of Death Stranding, if you kill a human and that body is eaten by a BT, one of those beach things, it will turn into what they call a void out, which is like a nuclear bomb. So you wanna make sure you don't kill anyone. And it's hard to kill somebody because I've intentionally tried to kill people in the first one, and it's really tough to do. But if you do kill somebody, there is still a chance to survive. You have to incinerate their body. So Let's get our sips going. So this is today's sip. I wanted to get something in theme, so I got Monster. Monster Energy Drink was the sponsor of the first Death Stranding game, but it was patched out a few months after the game came out for Porter Brew. So I'm trying a new flavor. This is Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. Damn. I wasn't expecting a grapefruit. I thought it was going to be strawberry. Woo! That's tart. I like it, though. Okay, so the game is encouraging us to build something here. And I think I've got a PCC. Okay. So, you can choose right now. I think the only things I can build are a post box and a watchtower. A watchtower is a structure that increases your scanning range for the ore deck. It can allow you to see like lost packages and enemy locations and other points of interest. Yeah, and there we go. You can also, I think, customize different aspects, like when you upgrade these. But so now, whenever I do this, it relays just a little farther. So our mission objective is that chiral density gauge. We got to get 2 of those. So we're gonna go ahead and sneak in there. I'm gonna try and snatch somebody up in the Strand, because there is a level for doing that. Like, you can, there's a stat for it, I should say. Alright, we're so close, there's gotta be an enemy nearby. I see one over here. That's, another objective, but it seems like this is unguarded. Very sus, but here we go. There's so many different environments, biomes, if you will, in Death Stranding 2. And I've only seen stuff from the trailer. I haven't really spoiled it all for myself. But there's this one landscape I'm looking forward to where you can just see a huge moon on a starry night. I'm looking forward to that bit of the game. Oh, we do have somebody. Let's snatch his ass up. Alright, let's get up. Don't turn around. And there you go. And you can loot his body. He's got container repair spray, but we don't need that right now. We need this. And there are also bots you can get. They were introduced in Death Stranding 1 that can deliver little packages. You can get floating carriers, drones, I believe. So this has an assault rifle, some ceramics, and another PCC. But we'll just go ahead and place that in our backpack. And then everything's arranged. Cool. So yeah, if you like your Metal Gear stealth stuff, it has it. The CQC isn't the best, but it is kind of fun to mess around with. The weapons are a bit more diverse this time around too. Oh, there's another dude up there. Good thing I didn't go that way like I intended. You can also use their rods now. Okay, so he's got a ladder. Let's go ahead and take that ladder, just to kind of give you an idea. But let's scan our area. We got a dude here. We got one over there. There's a turret as well. And I bet there's like some sniper. They always have some guy just like hiding out in the bush. But because that's a body of water, Sam will rapidly lose stamina, and it'll be hard for him to navigate. So what I'm going to do is try and build a little bridge. And these structures that I build appear in other players' worlds. So there is an added benefit. Like if you're trying to level up your porter grade and stuff, you want to build structures, and the game incentivizes this time around you leave likes. because you won't start receiving likes until you leave likes. So, wink, wink. All right. I want to make sure nobody's around the side, because we're going to sneak in this way. And we've got basic ladder. Let's see how far we can go with it. Seems like it's a fast rapid, though. I'll try and get it up on that rock just a little bit. And here we go. Also, if Sam puts a ladder up against a wall, he can automatically slide up and down it using some sort of tool. All right. Here we go. So we're going to use the Aura deck here, and that's our second objective over there. We got some chiral crystals to pick up. All right, here we go. Okay, I didn't see that guy before, so let's try and sneak up on him as he's walking this way. We got the, we could use the gun, but I don't want to draw attention unless I have to. Okay, so he's back that way. It's hard to be stealthy with so much shit on your back. Sometimes you'll encounter a situation where you're giraffe necking it. You have so much stuff on your back that you just can't stealth anywhere. But well, he looks like he's posted. Oh. Ooh. We got his attention. He's coming around this way. Oh no, he saw me. All right, we've got no choice. We gotta pop one. Oh! He stun rodded us. CQC. And you can snatch the package from him. And you can also use packages as weapons. And another one snuck up on me here. Alright. Now we've alerted them. I just want to see where the other one is. Okay, he's over here. Got him. The mules are so much more aggressive this time around. So, like, if you felt like they were too easy in the first game, they fixed it. They're still quite easy now, but they use different routing and different modes of attack compared to before. So we're delivering some ibuprofen. Did we get some ibuprofen? That's crazy. All right. So Sam's got too much shit on his back at the moment. So we are going to reorganize it so we can make our journey back. So you can always hit triangle and just automatically sort things. And you can drop things that you don't need anymore. Like, I've got 3 container repair sprays. I'm good. Like this electric rod, I'm probably not going to use that in battle, so we'll drop that. And you can offload it there. You can come back for it. You can put it in a post box. And really, I don't need these boots. Like, I don't know what I was thinking bringing those with me. I don't have that far to travel. And then you can hit triangle, and it resorts everything. So this is the optimal set. And what else we got in here? Oh yeah, you can hack these. So the mules have like these little post boxes, and there's some good stuff in there, so you don't want to pass these up. Alright, let's see what we got. We got a blood bag, which I don't need. I'll take these special alloys. And I think I've got another ladder on me, do I? I might need that ladder. I've got a ladder. Okay. And then we'll arrange everything, and boom. Let's get out of here. Time to go home. Alright, everyone's knocked out, so I'm going to go ahead and run. We're a bit heavier, so you're going to notice him stumbling a little bit more than usual. When you're building bridges across the river, you see that line over there, that red, white, and blue? That's how you get back into the chiral network. When you're outside of the chiral network, you don't have the benefits of like the other player structures and likes and tips and stuff. You have to be on the chiral network to receive those. Okay. Let's get a little ladder going here. And come on. Yeah, that'll work. If you don't plan on going to a place again for a while, like this area, I might not come back for a while. If you don't plan on going to a place in a while, it's good to dismantle things because there's a certain amount of bandwidth. And essentially what bandwidth is, if you think about Little Big Planet, if you think about Little Big Planet, there's that temperature gauge of like how many objects you can have in your level. That's what the bandwidth is within Death Stranding 2 and 1. Alright, let's climb back up here and see if I don't die. Oh yeah. The Oradrek. The red X's mean I can't climb on that area, but... Oh. I wish I would have left myself a rope. I think we're going to have to take the path. We're going to have to take it. It's okay. And we're out of here. They added a feature to drop your backpack on the ground. Yeah, you can do that. Let me try that out. I think it's... If you hold triangle, you can just hold all your stuff there. So, like, if you don't want to risk your stuff getting fucked with by the bandits, you can, like, drop it off in a safe spot. And the stuff that Sam has equipped on his body, he can use. So you can still carry weapons or lightweight stuff. But then it's also susceptible to the forces of nature. And you can quickly put it back on, like that. It's also useful if you want to go and place some structures or what have you. Like if you're having trouble navigating, you can drop your backpack down and set up your structures and come back to it. I don't have any vehicles just yet, but you do get vehicles. I did steal a truck from the bandits, but it ran out of battery because I don't have any... I don't have any structures that can charge batteries at the moment. And I think I can take the vehicles back to like one of the main junction points and then keep it in a hangar. But I haven't really gotten that deep into it to try it out. So these are post boxes here. And one of the cool things is... you can now recycle using these post boxes. So, right here. So if you have some useless shit, like, I always carry these alloys on me and stuff. You use them for crafting. But they do take up a lot of weight. So we're going to recycle them here. And I think that's about all. I'm going to keep my chiral crystals. Alright. And then you can also create things too. I think I need a new pair of boots. My level 1 boots are almost done. Done, son. Wait, I do have a sandal. I did make some sandals. Let's use the sandals, because I don't think I've ever used those before. But we're going to leave them all the likes we can and get out of there. So if my boots go bad, I'm going to put on these sandals I crafted. Ah, some special alloys. Oh no! We're gonna slide if we're not careful. You gotta get that grippy going. All right, here we go. Here we go. There's a day-night cycle. I'm not sure all the things that affects just yet, but I think, I mean, outside of environmental things, I think it just affects how stealthy you are. Also, you can see right now, Sam has the aura deck out, and it's acting as a flashlight. That's brand new. And we gotta run through these, though. I ain't fucking with these tarantulas. See ya! No thanks. I would do the very same in real life. Look how many there are. One of them's got some chemicals. Yoink!
I'm Sam. My name's Sam too.
What is this? Alright. Let's leave some likes for the big rubber ducky. Alright. So, when you upgrade your structures, you can unlock holograms to kind of draw attention to the structures you built. And they're just like a fun little bonus thing. So, I've got a little hamster that I can assign to some of my structures. I'll show it to you whenever the time comes. Oh! Let's get out. Let's get out. Ah! They're sapping my blood. It says footwear almost ruined, so our boots are running low. Oh! This here, these are cryptobiotes. Cryptobiotes. They're like little flying larvae that you eat to restore blood. And everyone eats them. They're the gross food of the game. Cryptobiotes. There's also a cryptobiote mascot. Baby Lou has a little cryptobiote toy. Leia Sado's character, she eats them nonstop. Keep on keeping on. I'm leaving everyone likes, okay? That's the theme of the stream. Leave those likes. I do have a Death Stranding stream and a review up on the channel, so if you want to see me do some stuff, I think I build some roads in Death Stranding, which is a really hard process to do. They added more, I think, in the director's cut as well, because I was playing the director's cut last weekend in preparation for this, and it's just like riding a bike. The controls have been streamlined in a lot of ways. You don't have to go through so many menus, and there's a few more features, but I definitely recommend playing the first one if you haven't. You know, get the hang of things. The story is important. All right, we got some ibuprofen delivered. Where is it?
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate the help.
There it is. Big Bald Bros, where are you at? Yeah, I got that ink right before.
Seems I was wrong.
Somebody tweet this at Norman. Let him know. Let him know I did it for him. Also, I'm repping Survival Instinct right here on stream. Big bald head. I did okay. So the first Death Stranding stream I ever did was kind of a prank. I told everyone I was streaming Death Stranding, and then I streamed Walking Dead Survival Instinct. It's awful. I can't say there's any good thing about the Walking Dead Survival Instinct other than there's a Wii U version of it. That's always fascinated me because it's one of the rarest games on the Wii U. Okay, so we've done that. I think I'm gonna head back to the big shelter so I can kind of show you Sam's room, and then I think there's a main mission over there, so Let me sort my equipment. We're gonna put on some sandals and then head back to the main city in Mexico. All right. Oh yeah, you can customize your backpack too. I'll show you all that cool shit. There's so much cool shit going on here. If you're a fan of like little systems and odd spy gadgets and things from Metal Gear, you're gonna love Death Stranding. Okay. It has that same feel. Okay, so we're headed to Ciudad Nudo de Norte. All right, let's. I think it's right over here. Right. So I'm gonna have to go through enemy territory again, and we're gonna end the route. It's kind of a long trek, and my shoes are going to break down, but that's all right. I've got some that I fabricated out of sandals, or sandals out of some plants I found. Vigoroth says, Kojima should have put survival instinct as something to pass the time in the shelters. It would have made Sam more than happy. You know, he does break the fourth wall with Norman Reedus. Like, Sam Porter Bridges, the character Norman Reedus plays, has all of Norman Reedus's tattoos. When you take a shit in Death Stranding 1, there's a ride with Norman Reedus advertisement that covers Sam taking a dump. And then whenever you can unlock one of Norman Reedus's motorcycles, it's a reverse trike in Death Stranding 1. But he goes, man, it's just like I'm on ride with Norman Reedus. Just winking at the camera. But so far there haven't been too many nostalgia bait camera winks this time around. I'm sure there are. There's a few silly things, and I love the silly shit. I unlocked one of the endings already. There's a hidden ending at the very beginning of the game. I unlocked one of those, and that was really silly and kind of fourth wall breaking. I accidentally did that. They added a bit of a conversation system this time around. That's not too dissimilar to Mass Effect. It's not on a timer, but you can press for further information and say different things. But I don't know if the outcomes are already predetermined. But if you say different things, there will be some different outcomes. Look at that. I think we're entering a dust storm. You see that over here? It's gorgeous. Climb. Alright, so we're going to be going through enemy territory here pretty soon. My shoes are going to bust. Let's take a look. By the way, I don't think those are northern lights. I think some of them are lights, but I think some of them are the strands indicating BTs. But I'm still early in the game. By the way, this is the plant here that you can use to build sandals with. Sandalweed is what it's called. I haven't encountered any of the BTs yet, the ghosts, because I'm still in the prologue, so all I've encountered are mules. We're still fairly early in. I would say the part of the game I'm in right now is the ground zeros of Death Stranding 2. Mexico is the ground zeros of Death Stranding 2, and I know the game opens up to other areas, but I'm not sure which. This is where I stole one of the cars from, and I don't think it's spawned back. But yeah, you can mark the bandits. I could also just, like, go the long way around if I want to and just go up and over. Which, that's what I might do, but... And I also have, like, one of those structures over there. Looks like we have some equipment. I don't know. Let's see if anyone's down here. Snatch their ass up in a strand. Somebody says, does Death Stranding 2 have real animals to catch like Metal Gear Solid 5? Not that I've seen. Oh, shit. Okay, hopefully they didn't spot me, because... Oh, no. Not good. Okay. Let's snatch this guy up first. Okay. Easy peasy. Like Metal Gear, though, if you leave bodies out and a patrol comes by, they'll set off an alarm and they'll release the people. Hold on a sec, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Yeah, if you heard that Parasite Eve music, that's my ringtone. That's how I know I'm gonna meet real ones on the real. You guys ever put your ringtone as like some obscure video game thing, hoping that one day you'll encounter somebody who knows what the fuck you're talking about? That's the kind of guy I am. I have Out of Phase from Parasite Eve, one of my favorite tracks ever. And so I've yet to encounter anyone in the real world that knows anything about Parasite Eve. Just all of us terminally online autists. I really hope that Parasite Eve remake that's been rumored materializes. Or at least something. I don't even think... Is it true that Europe never got Parasite Eve? Because I remember like when the PlayStation Classic came out and Japan got Parasite Eve... North America didn't in the PlayStation Classic. And then, like, Europe, I guess, just never got Parasite Eve, and I think, like, Xenogears? Oh, shit. Oh, he saw me! How did he see me? Now we're gonna have to snatch his ass up. That works. Did he call for backup? I think he called for backup. Let's get the fuck out of here. That's okay. We're taking the high road. I hear the alarm, and they're going to start throwing those spikes at me. That's alright. They're pretty slow. But the spears just... I don't know how they spawn, but they're just like right out of sight always, and then they just go whoop right at you. Alright, Big Roth says, my copy of DS2 arrives late night tomorrow. I can't wait to play it. Yeah, guys, I bought a digital copy so I could play it early, and I'm also going to get the physical copy. Don't hate me because I bought a digital copy. I buy digital copies of games that I really want to support, like Silent Hill 2, and I also buy the physical copy too. That's just how I roll. If I like a game enough, I support it twice. And the thing is, also, when I did my PS5 C-Bomb video, the PS5 does not have the C-Bomb. So I feel a little bit more secure in my purchase that way. Also because I wanted to stream it for you guys. But, for the PS3, of course, I wouldn't recommend it. PS4's fine now. They've patched out the C-Bomb in the PS4. But I do buy physical. I'm a physical gamer. Still, but on rare occasions I do buy the digital, and I really wanted to play Death Stranding too early. Game's so nice that Kiko bought it twice. That's right. 2 of those sales are coming from me. I show up. That's my main thing. Being a gamer in the modern day, it's not just like, you know, passively supporting it, you know, leaving a like. No, you actively got to show up too. You got to support the things you love if you want to see more of them. And I did buy 2 copies of the first Death Stranding. I bought the disc copy of the PS4 one, and then I think I paid for the director's cut as well. So but when all said and done, I will have supported Death Stranding a number of, like, four times, I guess. And the best thing about physical copies is I like to give them away to my friends. So if you happen to see me IRL and we've engaged in a conversation about a game, there's a good chance I will say, oh, here you go, here's a copy, and just give it to you. Because when I buy a physical copy, I have it in my mind to eventually give that as a gift to somebody or get somebody else involved. That's the best part of having a physical copy, is linking up, you know, spreading the good word about something. I think, Big Roth says, I'm surprised Sony decided to do early access for DS2 because of the story stuff. Well, there are some streamer guidelines that I think go on for a couple of months. And, like, streamer and review guidelines, like, you can't show past a certain chapter on YouTube or streaming. And I don't know when that embargo goes up. I'll have to read the guidelines again. But I'm, like, really, really early in the game, so I won't be showing it. Like, I think it's, like, Chapter 7 or something. So they do have guidelines for it. And I think they may do that, like, Persona 5 stuff, where they prevent you from capturing a scene. Yeah, right. All right, what do we got here? So I got a machine pistol, which is different from the taser. That's probably going to be more useful to me than the taser, so I'm going to fabricate that. We'll fabricate that, okay. Oh, I wanted to show you guys the private room. One of my favorite aspects of Death Stranding. Alright. Let's go show you the private room. So, the private room is where Sam rests, and you can pass time and do all your personal hygiene stuff and check your mail. Alright, so I can sleep till evening or get up. The private rooms have changed quite a bit. You can now customize the walls. So I put this big old goofy Sam Muggin behind him. That's Sam from Death Stranding 1, back when he was a part of Bridges. Right now he's a part of Drawbridge, which is like the new replacement for Fragile and Bridges. It's Drawbridge. Hey, Dominic213, shout out. Thanks for subscribing. And you can also change this wall over here. So you unlock these screen images. Like, I've seen somebody with some VTubers and shit. So I can get Leia Sado and little baby Lou. I had this one for a bit. So you got all these pictures of Lou, baby Lou. That's Death Stranding 1 Lou before she had hair. Then you got some Death Stranding 1. You got your Bridges hat. Just getting that pimp lean on there. Or you can do the Ludens, which is like the mascot of Kojima's company. So like you can yeah, customize that wall. Never forget your baby. Right there. Cute. You get various other ones as you go along. You can customize your suit. Now, it's essentially, I don't know if they add like various perks or something like that, like the Snake Eater. But in the original game, you could essentially swap your color palette. So I had a gold one in Death Stranding 1. I haven't unlocked anything yet, but you can also wear it backwards. You can change the color. Let's see if I got any palettes so we can make a red one. Look how detailed Redis's face is, though. I mean, like, they even have some, like, little blemishes. They got his moles down. Like, even like, what do they call those? Your sebum pores on your nose. Like, it's extremely detailed. I don't know how well that's coming out in on the capture, but it looks phenomenal. Really good stuff. But I got his Why Me hat. We'll stick with black for now. And then you can get your sunglasses. You can also like wear them on your head, like so. I wear mine here. And instead of porter brew this time around, let's see, how do I do it? You can drink this. I think this is supposed to be liquid death. It's called Chiral Tea. So no Monster sponsorship this time around. This cost me $200 to get this 1-to-1 replica. $200 for the rest of my life. That's what I was telling some friends. He looks less video gamey now compared to DS1. In a good way. Like, Decima is doing wonders. I thought he looked phenomenal in Death Stranding 1, if I'm being honest. If you guys know anything about my channel, I don't really have, like, high standards when it comes to graphics. I mean, I grew up during the NES era, okay? So this shit is already... Like, PS3 was mind-blowing to me. This is just icing on the cake. I think you can wash his face over there. I don't know if you can do all the tongue and weird stuff like before. No. You could, like, make silly faces in the first one. This one, so far, you can't make the shit grenades. One thing you should know about Sam is because he's a repatriate, his blood, his bodily fluids are a weakness of the BTs, the beach things, the ghosts. So, Bridges, what they would do is collect his sweat, his piss, and his shit, and they could be used as grenades in Death Stranding 1. They call them EX number 2 grenades for the shit, number 1 for piss, and then 0 for the sweat. They're not very useful. The blood grenades are a lot better, the hemostatic grenades, but they are there. And Sam also collects like little figures and stuff, so as he encounters bosses and enemies over here, his figure shelf grows, and I believe you can do like boss rush mode like you could in Death Stranding 1. So, all right, that's his little private room. You can also customize other things, I think later on, like music and other things, but I haven't gotten that far. Sludag says there was a really good jump scare with the mirror in the first one. Yeah, there's a somewhat reference to PT. It's like one of those cryptic references to PT in Death Stranding 1. Guys, I put maybe like 150 hours into Death Stranding 1. I went through it with a fine-tooth comb. I just had so much fun with it, and it caught me at like the right time in my life too. It's one of those games like where I did all the side quests. I did every one of them. I threw on a podcast, like on the PS5. You can run Spotify and do like a audio balance. So like I replaced the game music with whatever podcast I was listening to. So I just caught up with all my podcasts, all my books on tape, and I delivered packages. Never been happier in my life, honestly. I was very, very content. Yeah, so this is where the desert was. So this is like another biome. But there was a big sandstorm over there. Darude. We're going to set our navigation. We're going to go to the third city, or the third waypoint, essentially. This is a main story quest, I think. So there may be a little bit of shit that shows up. But it's right here. It's the C1 South Distribution Center. It's a long journey, okay? So we are right here. No. We're right here. So we're going to go all the way up to Via Libre. where La Madre is. We're going to go through mule territory, all the way up through the mountains, all the way down here, across that river, through the woods, to the C1 distribution center we go. All right, that's 371 meters, so it's going to be a long journey. I'm going to try and nomad it, okay? Now, nomading style in Death Stranding is just how it sounds. It's like wherever you go on a long journey and you just survive off the things you find. It's, I do that a lot. The game kind of like evolves in stages. The progression of Death Stranding starts off very slow and kind of miserable and stuff. Like you are really put to the survival test. And then you get better structures, you get vehicles, and then you start to get a feel for how the game controls. And then in Death Stranding 1, you start building zip lines and a whole intricate network across the UCA. The people that complained the loudest about Death Stranding probably didn't even get a vehicle. It's like The Good Life. They didn't even get a sheep, and they spent hundreds of hours just wandering around on foot, right? But I think it's just a failure of people to meet the game where it's at, or understand all just challenge. I don't know how to say it other than, like, I'm a little disappointed in the world we're in, where games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and all that, and Ark Survival and all these other kind of games, like, where you really have to plan things out, people just seem like they gave up so early on Death Stranding. And as I said, there's been a little revisionism going on where people are saying, no, I've always liked it. I've always liked it. What are you talking about? But it wasn't that way. I recall distinctly in 2020, and I think it was late 2019, early 2020, people were shitting all over this game. And it was bad. Like, I was a part of this little Facebook group. That's how boomer it was. It was way back in 2019 when I actually had a Facebook. But I was part of a Facebook group, like, where it was just like a bunch of like retro gamers, or just like-minded gamers, we'll say. And I've been a part of that group for a while. And people were just like crashing out about Death Stranding and calling it shitty, and they were just like repeating all of Video Game Donkey's points or whatever. And like, Video Game Donkey is a satirist, okay? He just makes funny videos. Like, he's not necessarily an authoritative source. But they were just so dismissive that it wasn't Metal Gear. And then other people are like, yeah, I picked it up, I'm enjoying it, and I'm doing this and all that. And they were trying to get a real conversation going. And one of the moderators of the group hated Death Stranding with a passion. And anyone who was trying to get like a little, off-group discussion going was just banning people or muting them or deleting their threads. It was so wild. I didn't understand like what the call for it was. And then a couple of YouTubers I was subscribed to put out positive reviews. I think I put out a fairly positive review of Death Stranding 1. And people were unsubscribing. They're like, yeah, it's trash, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I was like, it's Metal Gear, just like a different flavor. Like, Death Stranding is going full force into its own universe and just trying to be original. You know, trying to break free from the shadow of Metal Gear, in a lot of ways. I mean, there's a lot of nods and callbacks to Metal Gear. Death Stranding 2 certainly has some callbacks to Metal Gear. But I would say, on the whole, it's refreshing. Like, I do like good stealth games. I do like games where combat is optional, and it's not afraid to get weird and silly. And I don't know what it says. Maybe it's just a society. We live in a society where people just take things at face value. And if they don't immediately understand what's in front of them, they just react with disgust. I mean, like, I like surreal, esoteric shit, okay? I've always been a fan of the weird, so to me, I was just a little disappointed in some of the people I've subscribed to. They just felt insecure. I don't know how to say it other than, like, some of the people I subscribed to got real insecure about Death Stranding, and they were, like, listening to, like, what Reddit and Tumblr was saying about it, blah, 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 blah. And then so, like, they felt that had to become their point of view, and they had to kind of, like, you know, just drench everything in a coat of irony. Like, I can't fully commit to sincerely liking Death Stranding. I have to ironically like Death Stranding, and that's safe. That's a safe place to be. I can't say that I, you know, find Norman Reedus to be charming, and his relationship between him and BB and Lou and his father and all this other stuff to be, like, heartwarming and you know, understand, like, it's not like the most deep game in the world, honestly. It really is about building connections and trying to, like, I don't know, as Kojima said, like, it was an unintentional, somewhat prophetic game. It was the right game for the right time, like, where everyone suddenly became disconnected due to COVID and what have you in early 2020. Death Stranding was released just around that time, like, where people started to, like, distance themselves from one another. And I think the message of Death Stranding is, like, very positive and uniting things, and, you know, going through, like, long journeys of self-discovery and coming out the end to find light. I think there are a few games that are just, like, optimistic in that way. Like, a lot of the games that are somewhat popular nowadays are just somewhat, like, bleak core or depression core, sad brains kind of shit. And while I like that on occasion, you know, it's good to have something that's a bit more optimistic about the world, you know. And Death Stranding has, like, a very oppressive environment. I would say it's terrifying. Like, if you think about the time fall, I always thought the time fall's one of the scariest things out there. Like, it's not over-explained what timefall is, but it's scary enough to, like, oh, everything it touches, it ages rapidly and causes, you know, rapid death and deterioration, and also, like, not being able to see the threat around you. Like, you're not born in such a way that you can see these beached figures or these ghosts that can just murder you and then turn your body into a nuclear bomb. Like, it's really... you know, it can be hopeful, but also, like, dramatically terrifying. Like, if you truly think about the implications of the stakes, if you will. Psychosis says, do I need to know all of Death Stranding 1 to even know what's happening in this one? There's a recap video. It's like a recap slideshow. There's a recap slideshow where Guillermo del Toro's Dead Man recaps all the major plot points of Death Stranding 1, but not all the minutia, if that makes sense. Like, it gives you, like, the broad overview, right? The broad strokes of things. You're not going to get everything, no. But I would say Death Stranding 1 is still valuable and it's worth playing. It's aged well. I mean, it's only been, 5 years? I think it's well worth your time. You should definitely play Death Stranding 1. I would say it's mandatory. If I'm going to pick a side, I'm going to say it's mandatory because you're going to want to learn the mechanics and get used to it, if you will. You have to get used to it. It's an acquired taste starting out. And then it will become second nature, I feel. You got to commit, though. You can't just be turned off by, like, weird terminology and odd sci-fi things. You gotta try. And it's rewarding, too. You get a lot of cool shit. Late game Death Stranding is almost like an entirely different experience. And the people out there who've actually managed to play through it can vouch for me here. Because I have people on my Discord that shat on Death Stranding early on. I was like, it's good, just try it. You got to take my word for it. I'm not just going to lead you astray for no reason. And they got back with me. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm getting it. This isn't good, but okay, I'm starting to like this, and I wish they had this and that. I'm like, well, the reason why a lot of... I've got the sandals on, by the way. I was like, the reason why game developers don't put all the good stuff in or, put in every single system is because they want to leave a little bit for the next game. And I think those discussions are important to have, like the things that are imperfect or the things that were a little rough about Death Stranding 1. It was Kojima's first game at a new studio. He started from essentially square one again. So yeah, I think he took that feedback to heart. And just speaking from somebody who's like sunk almost 200 hours into Death Stranding 1, he streamlined a lot of stuff. So like the menu navigation's like a lot better. And I think the game, while it does have some training segments, it's not super handholdy. Like it really does. I think it takes like maybe 20 minutes from the intro to get into the gameplay, which is showing restraint from Kojima. So it really cuts to the gameplay, and it also allows you to do a lot early on that you couldn't do in Death Stranding 1. So if you want something that just like drops you in and doesn't over-explain everything, start with 2. But if you want to like really get into the world and learn the terminology and the minutia of things, Death Stranding 1's still a solid game, and there's still a lot of active people playing, so you're not going to be stranded on your own. There's going to be a lot of player structures and stuff. So that's my piece on it. Highly recommend it. Played the director's cut. The director's cut, I think it's like 4K, 60 frames. It has more weapons, more tools. It has some bonus areas. It doesn't have like a lot of new story content or anything like that, but it has like a Metal Gear inspired level. And it should be cheap. I think it's like $20 now or something like that. Psychosis says, I wonder how my perspective would be if I go into skipping 1. Then I think you're going to be really confused. That's my best guess. But as I said, like if you don't really care so much about the story, that's fine. There's a lot of game to explore, and if you like just building things and streamlining things, it's there for you. It doesn't necessarily have a free range mode per se, but it allows you to skip like all the cutscenes and then just kind of zoom your way through. And if you're ever confused on the objectives, you can just check your ring and go for it. Hey, Hikiko did the pizza deliveries, and I haven't done... Smeme Boy, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. We're keeping it spoiler free. James Hampton, why can't others have others fun, especially over video games? I don't know, man. That I've never I can't say I haven't encountered, people that just have hostile reactions about game opinions. I've encountered a lot of that. But it was something about Death Stranding at the time. I think everyone was cooped up at home, and all these. I think after 2019, 2020, internet discourse got noticeably worse. Noticeably worse, and I don't think it's ever recovered. I think people are trapped at home watching a lot of Silent Hill lore explain videos, and then it just breeded this insufferable loudmouth asshole, and there's just like so many more of them. We're outnumbered nowadays. Speaking as a loudmouth asshole, but there's more of us out there now. And I don't know, I think people they kind of grew like a vicarious, almost parasocial attachment to online figures during that era. So, like, they take their word as gospel, if you will. Like, they don't form their own opinions. And you see this a lot now. Not to go on a whole tangent. I'm not going to go on a long one, okay? Just a short tangent. But if you notice, if you go on Twitter, this is like the most disgusting shit I have ever seen. But like when people get in internet arguments, they bring Grok in, Elon Musk's AI, to fight their battles, to fight their arguments for them. Hey, Grok, is this true? Hey, Grok, what does this actually mean? And like, you know, there's no real discussion being had anymore. So even like, as I mentioned, the PC Gamer article that was published today, where the reviewer complained for like the whole article about how 30 frames per second was giving them like motion sickness and how they couldn't stomach it. Like, what? First of all, 30 frames is giving you trouble? Like, never play Deadly Premonition 2, bitch. Secondly, it's a lie because this game is clearly running at 60 frames in performance mode. And, like, look, this is performance mode. The visual quality, the draw distance is still fairly large. Like, this is a base PS5. I didn't buy a Pro. I haven't had any frame hitching at all. No screen tearing, nothing. It's a beautiful game. And then it runs, I think it does run at 1440p. I play in 1080p, but it does run in 1440p at 60 frames, which is cool. And also, it's performance mode or quality mode. Quality mode, it's like the most beautiful looking game ever, but then it runs at 30 frames. I don't know, is it on PC yet? I didn't check and see if it's on Steam. Maybe it might be a PS5 timed exclusive for a bit. But, I think it's just on PS5 for right now. But this guy was just like bitching and moaning. It's like, does anyone do their due diligence anymore? Like, how hard is it? Like, before I start any video game, this has been my entire life. Before I start any video game, I go to the options menu. And I just toggle around and try and, like, you know, cater it to my preference. Some gamers just, like, stumble into video games thinking that it's already fine-tuned to their preferences. Now, some games will do it, like, you know, as you're playing. Like, they'll, like, fine-tune the difficulty to your performance, yeah. But, it's a skill issue, you know, that's, as the Zoomers say, skill issue. And, I think these, modern day reviewers aren't making a great case not to be replaced by AI. If they're not doing their most basic of due diligence, like, well, you know, maybe Grok will be the better reviewer, or will tell the most, true version of events in the end. I don't know. But I just hate that shit. And it's like they say a lie gets halfway across the world while the truth is still getting its pants on. That's what people go with. Like, the first thing they hear, like the first, oh well, shit, oh, it runs at 30 frames, blah 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 blah. They use it as like some misinformation talking point. And then that's what sticks. And then it takes forever for people to, like, you know, correct the record. As we've seen with the Stop Killing Games initiative. Oh, God. I could go on a tangent about that, but I'll spare you for now. But you can see it here. It's running in 60 frames. Performance great. There's, like, no loading times. Wonderful. Am I going to call it Game of the Year? Probably, because it's like the game I've been like most anticipating for sure. But that's my personal preference. We're leaving likes, by the way. We are leaving likes. This is a supportive stream. Where my big bald head's at, right here. $200 for all this ink, right here. It wasn't $200. It was maybe like 2 cents worth of ink. All right, let's. We gotta make our way through the mule camp again. We're getting closer to our destination. We have a long journey this time around. Sabine Boy says, "Yeah, always got to check the settings before playing." That's on any game. On Death Stranding 1, I had a problem with Death Stranding 1. The text was incredibly small. And I believe it or not, I'm a projector gamer. I have this projector that I got during the pandemic. I bought a 1080p Panasonic projector, and you're not going to believe this, but I got a 1080p Panasonic projector for $50, $50 US, 50, from an old boomer couple, like this old rich boomer couple. They were upgrading to a 4K projector. They're like, yeah, we can't deal with this 1080p shit anymore. And they were really nice. And they're like, well, are you okay to come pick it up? And I'm like, yeah, I'll come pick it up for $50. They're like, it's only got 2 bulbs with it. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, we're going to throw in this system selector that we don't need anymore. They threw in a fucking surround sound system selector. So I got a projector, a surround sound system selector, 2 projector bulbs, and a smart remote, which I still have. Those 5 things for $50 US. I don't think I've ever gotten a better deal in my life. So I've set that projector up in my living room, and I bought a screen for it. And the bulbs, the downside to owning a projector is you have to replace the bulbs after about 300 hours. But the bulbs are like $70. So for $70, I can get 300 hours. I think it's kind of a good trade-off. So I've been a projector gamer ever since. And I've been playing Death Stranding on a projector. So, back to my initial point. I was playing Death Stranding 1 on my projector, and the text in the first game is incredibly small. And I was playing at 1080p, incredibly small. So I went into the options, and you can blow up that text to like extra large. And that's how I played it. And Death Stranding 2, I think, has a lot of accessibility features. I think it has like a colorblind mode and other things like that. Sony's pretty good about accessibility features. I have colorblind friends. I have nearsighted friends. I myself have myopia. Not that that affects my gaming, but just things. The considerations like that. It's cool to be a gamer. If you have any sort of disability, like, you know, they got you covered. They even have like a story-centric mode that I think like really tweaks the combat and makes everything easy. Super, super easy. Smash that like, says the Art and Times of J. Ryan. What's up? 4 clubs, thumbs up. Yeah, this is a real tat, guys. This is for real. I designed it myself. It's not a one-to-one replica. You know, the skull, the big bald head is, you know, not one-to-one Norman Reedus, but I think he'd respect that. Yeah, and I also got that star there, too. Yeah, I got tatted up for this stream. I did it in my bathroom before the stream. And it's permanent. It's staying there for the rest of my life. I like Norman Reedus that much. I like Death Stranding that much, and I wanted to show my commitment. My love of the game. I ain't no fake gamer. I watched The Walking Dead all the way through Sunk Cost Fallacy, from season 1, the Darabont seasons, to the absolute shit show season 10. I watched The Fear of the Walking Dead. I watched Daryl Dix. I watched it all. I'm a slop tint consumer, straight up. Ain't nobody consumes slop like me. You gotta live it. I actually was a fan of The Walking Dead for a little bit, but I did watch it all eventually. Begrudgingly, we'll say. It has high highs and it has low lows. But Norman Reedus' character, Daryl, is one of the highlights of the show for real. But all the good characters kind of left and then got their own shows. I wouldn't say it's worth it. Like, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I'd say, like, you know, watch the first couple seasons of The Walking Dead. Like, maybe 3. I'll give it 3. And then skip the rest. I'd say Fear the Walking Dead is kind of fun in spots, but it's also slop. The World Beyond, not worth watching at all. It's garbage all the way through. Gerald Dixon's fun. And you don't have to, like, really watched the original Walking Dead to understand what's going on in Daryl Dixon. Merle and Daryl in a game. What could be better than that? I'm ready for jail. I was born to be a jailbird, really. I come from a long line of outlaws, folks. All right, looks like the distribution center is right over there. Yeah, I just went to my bathroom and said, "Fuck it, let's tat up." I'm not even I'm not gonna get it to scale. Mine's gonna be an original piece. Damn, dude. This is a long trek. Let's scan it, make sure I'm going to pick up some lost cargo along the way. We can build a tower over here. This would probably be a useful structure. My sandals are dead, so we're going to put on our boots. I think. Yeah, there we go.
That feels good.
We got some boots going. And let's build a tower just to help people out. And we'll scan for some lost cargo and help out everyone. That's the name of the game. Oh, we're not in the chiral network. That's right. So we got to connect this city over here to the UCA before we can build a tower. I forgot about that. So let's go get this connected. Hopefully it doesn't play any copyrighted music. Usually when you stroll upon a new city, they'll play something like Low Roar or another band. I think the guy's name is Kid something or other, did the soundtrack to this one, and it's really good so far. The intro to this game, Kojima showed it off at the Summer Games Fest, but the intro is so beautiful. I almost shed a tear, guys. What can I say? I'm a softie when it comes to Kojima games. I don't think there's a bad one. Everyone likes to dog on Metal Gear Solid 4, but Metal Gear Solid 4 was the most mind-blowing thing of its time. It was the best-looking game on the PS3 for a very, very long time. I think, like, The Last of Us maybe surpassed it in visual fidelity and trickery and stuff like that. Maybe Uncharted or something. But I still love Metal Gear 4. Unashamedly. Now, when I play it, I do skip a lot of the cutscenes, but I like the Octo camo. I like the weird little things you can do, like listen to an iPod and calm Snake down, and it's like a more sophisticated version of Snake Eater. Finding new pathways, new tricks to play on the soldiers, that sort of things. Trying to get all the camo. And the cutscenes were interactive in Metal Gear 4. Many people tend to forget that, but you could interact with certain elements and find secret things in the middle of a cutscene. So it gave you a reason to tool around a bit. Alright, we're almost there. You inked it with a pencil like the guy from Memento. Yeah. Shout out. John G. Look for John G. One thing I forgot to point out in my D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die video, like I did have a section in that about how Memento was like one of the biggest inspirations for D4. But there's a DLC costume in D4 based off of Memento where David has all these tattoos. Like one of them says like Little Peggy and Look 4D and all that stuff, which is taking inspiration from, what is it, Sammy Jenkins? I don't want to spoil Memento, but a character in Memento. Guy Pearce's character, we'll say. getting all these chiral crystals. There was a kind soul over there that connected us to... They built a tower for us. So that expands our range just a little bit, but we got a couple of things here. We got a last-gen security camera. So we got a little lost cargo we can deliver. I heard a rooster, so there's got to be some organic life. Yeah, some of the best stuff in Metal Gear 4 is the last third of the game. Shinta Najiri, the creator of Never Dead, he handled a lot of the funnest parts of Metal Gear 4. Like the stealth section in the city, where you play as what's his name from Snatcher? There's a callback to Snatcher in one part of Metal Gear 4. Gillian Seed, I think his name. Yeah, you play as Gillian Seed somewhat for a section. That was directed by Shinta Najiri, and I think the Shadow Moses bit might have been his idea. I'll have to look again, but yeah, Shinta Najiri made a lot of silly things for Metal Gear 4, as you'd come to expect from the creator of Never Dead and Metal Gear Acid. Sam's skills have improved as a result. Weapon usage, okay, is restricted. So I can carry, I'm at the level 4 carrying capacity, so I can carry more shit on Sam's back. So we leveled up for finding this place. This is one of the guys. So that little hologram, to explain what's going on in Death Stranding, people are afraid of coming to the surface except for porters. And so what they do is they project themselves in like a Star Wars hologram, and that's how they communicate. Let's leave a little emote and see if people will actually leave me a like. You got this, or love it. I'm just going to say you got this. That seems positive enough, right? You got this. Let's see if anyone leaves me any likes on that, because I put it right here at the beginning. So they gotta leave me some likes. It's a little bait. James Hampton says, how would you feel about a Deadly Premonition remake? I would not be for it, honestly. I think they would just ruin the magic of the original. But if it ever did come out, I would give it a try. I would give it a try. I think Deadly Premonition 2 in a lot of ways feels somewhat like there's some retconning, there's a few little weird things about the story that sort of make it a remake, because there's some retconning that's so severe that it's essentially almost non-canonical, if that makes sense. I like this flavor of Monster. I've never had it before, but this is what we're sipping on. Monster Ruby Red. When I get energy drinks, I get the zero sugar ones. I don't tend to drink my calories unless it's like a protein shake or something. But it's got a little tart flavor. It's not super sour. It's just a little bit sour. I like it a lot. I think I'd get this again. Here's my Porter card. Porter grade 32. We're the Adept Handler. So there's all my stats so far. I believe you can increase your Porter rank further if you do hard mode. You get like the Legends of Legends delivery and all that. So I'll be doing that like way later on in the game. I'll play hard mode because you can change the difficulty at any time. I'm just playing on normal mode because I'm somewhat familiar with Death Stranding. I mean, I got like 200 hours in it, so yeah, we can say that. So we've got VR training. There's corpse disposal, which was only at one location in the original Death Stranding. So if you killed somebody, you had to like trek their body out to the incinerator that's like halfway across the world and then incinerate them. So now each one of these delivery terminals has a corpse disposal, which is nice. But let's go take a nap. Hey, what's up, Dizzy Paper Moon? What's going on? We got a lot of people in here. 30. I know we don't have as many. We had like 80 people in the last stream, but I think many people don't want Death Stranding 2 spoiled for them. That's fine. I put in the title early game, no spoilers, and I'm going to commit to that as well. So I understand. I kind of went into this game mostly blind. I did watch the intro bit that Kojima put in there, like where Sam's walking down a hill, and that's about it. So let's check out our ring terminal and see what our mission is. Oh my god. Dude, we just went to the wrong distribution center. We just went to the wrong distribution center. All that for nothing. That's okay. We'll take a shortcut there. We will get there. Yeah, we got turned around somehow. How did that happen? Okay. That's okay. It was fun anyway. We're gonna get there. I promise you. How did we end up back here? Where did I get turned around? Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Okay. That's okay. We'll restock all of our stuff and go back and try it again. I've knocked out all those mules at least. Suffa Hikiko. Hey Kodai, what's up? I bought Death Stranding Director's Cut for Xbox on launch day. I really enjoyed it, hoping for a DS2 port in the future. Kodai, you got it on Xbox? Did they release it physically, or did you just get it on Game Pass or something? I forgot that it came out on Xbox. That's crazy. I wonder what the stats are like for the Xbox gamers. I can't imagine Xbox gamers would be a fan of this. And that's speaking as somebody who used to have a Series X. But I know that Sony put Ghostwire Tokyo up on Xbox. And I know Xbox is just whoring out their stuff to anyone. Xbox has like put Gears of War out on Sony and some of their other IPs. It's just so strange to me. I think Halo? Isn't Halo coming to PlayStation? What a strange times we live in. Rip physical copies of games on Xbox. Art and Times of J. Ryan. There is a video on my channel. I think it's called "Why Does Xbox Lock You Out of Games?" And I did tests. When I had my Series X, I did a series of tests for Does It Play. I just said like, hey, I'm going to test out all the 4 different types of Xbox games on the Series X and show you what you can and can't play online and offline and what comes on the disc. And a lot of the Series X games out there are Xbox One games on the discs. So you only get the Xbox One build. There are some Series X only games that you need a Series X and it has the full copy of the Series X game on there and you can play it offline. But there's so many different problems. So if you go and watch that video, I explain in greater detail all those issues. But yeah, I ran a lot of experiments. Believe it or not, guys, Hikiko over here confirmed there was no C-bomb on the PS5. That's right. I did it. There's news articles out there. So I did my due diligence for the PS5. I did it for the Series X. I worked with people through Discord for the PS4. But I haven't gotten to test the Switch or anything else ever since. The PS5 has an issue, a major issue, though, with its disk drive. If you buy like a digital PS5 or the PS5 Pro and you buy a disk drive for it, which is already fucking expensive, it has to call out to Sony servers to get an unlock key, to basically get a certificate to unlock your disk drive to use it on your PS5. So you have to go directly through Sony servers to unlock your own external disk drive. Well, it's not necessarily external. It snaps on, but that is still not solved. It's so stupid. It's because Sony wants proprietary Blu-ray players for their PS5s, and they don't want competition. They don't want like Mad Catz coming out and making cheaper Blu-ray drives that you can just attach to your PS5 Pros. It's so fucking greedy and bad. But so no, like Sony's not completely absolved of sin. But yeah, I've got all sorts of... I don't know if I made a playlist or what, but I have a lot of, like, video game system tests videos. Like, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what I'm about, I'm mostly about weird games. One, I talk about weird games that I love, weird Japanese games in particular. And then I also talk about, like, video game preservation and how to play games and like what you can and cannot own. So I talk about like digital game or video game preservation in general, and I've done a lot of experiments and stuff like that. It's just something that I wandered into, and it's something I care about. I want games to be accessible now and in the future. And now. Alright, if you're just joining the stream, leave that like. That's the theme of the stream. We got 35 likes. Let's get it up to 50 likes before we call an end to the show. We're actually going to unlock the third city, though. And if it gets, like, too far in... So where are we? We're about 2 hours in. So we'll play for a little bit longer. We'll get to that third city. We're not too far away, honestly. I'm going to go around the opposite side of the mule camp. I also got ink for this stream, too. I just went in my bathroom with, like, a dirty needle, and I put that down. Big bald head. Just like made Norman proud. You guys got to tweet at Norman, let him know. At Big Bald Head up on Twitter. Okay, so yeah, we're getting some copyrighted music here, so I gotta actually turn that down. I don't want this to get flagged, sorry. I want people to be able to watch this archive, so... shared structure, sound output... Damn, I can't toggle the music? Let's make sure I can... I know I can turn off copyrighted music, can I? Like, is there a streamer mode? Shit. Shared structure audio. Okay. Voices from the controller. No, you can't. Okay. Sorry. We're gonna have to play on mute for a little bit. I'm sorry. Because Indigo by Magnolian's playing right now. There's some original... There's a lot of original music in Death Stranding, too. That is... like, if you look at the streamer guidelines, it won't be flagged, but anything that comes from, like, a label, essentially, will get flagged. So, sorry, I gotta turn that off for right now. I want this archive to go up, and I want the Euros, especially the Germans. Anytime, like, I hear copyrighted music on one of these games... It bans it in Germany instantly, and I don't know why they're so strict over there. But looks like I think the music's over. Because there's the bass right there. Once I get to that bass, I think the music will go away. But there it is, the third city. Hey, Alan Smithy, I had to dip for a bit. What was Hikiko talking about just now? I don't know. We've talked about a lot. We were talking about the C-bomb, I believe, and video game preservation. It's been a hot topic right now. I'm a fan of Accursed Farms, Ross's Game Dungeon, Ross Scott is his name. Ross Scott is probably one of the most important voices in regards to video game preservation at the moment. He's got a petition called Stop Killing Games, which has been going on for months, but it's only in European and UK right now for the petition. They have to get like, I think, 1 million signatures to get lawmakers to look in the definitions of ownership, basically. The Cliff Notes version of the Stop Killing Games movement is like when you buy a video game, when you buy The Walking Dead Survival Instinct on the PS3, a lot of modern games come with a EULA, like which is an in-user license agreement, which has like a bunch of fine print that says like you don't actually own the game, you own a license to use the game, and it's for an undeterminate amount of time, essentially saying that like at any point, like if the game has an always online DRM component or an always online system, if it's like a multiplayer game, that they have their rights to just pull the game down and delist it and prevent access to that game at any time. Think about Concord is probably the most recent example of that. And Ross Scott put out the Stop Killing Games petition, and his goal was to get actual clear language, like what ownership is. So like if a company is going to put out a game and revoke ownership later on, they need to make it clear that it's a license and that this is a temporary license or temporary form of ownership. And they need to make it absolutely clear for the user who then buys that game. So if you go out there and buy like a physical copy of Concord, oh shit, it's still playing. That if you buy a physical game and then later on Sony decides to pull it away or whatever and not offer refunds, you're not shit out of luck $70. And there's other things too, like trying to implement offline modes or at least passing on the server code to the users at the end of the game's life. The biggest thing that came out of the Stop Killing Games is the term end of life plan. And I think this should have been considered before like this whole games as a service thing came around, because there are some games that people enjoy, like Friday the 13th, the game. I really enjoyed playing that, but then like fucking one of the screenwriters sued the owners of Friday the 13th because they didn't get their share, and the game basically got killed and no more development could happen and blah 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 blah. And then the game went offline. I don't know if it's online in a different form, but what I'm saying is like that's an inherent risk to multiplayer games, especially if it has like a license thing like Evil Dead or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that sort of thing, that it has that risk. So if there is going to be a risk that the game will be delisted, it needs to be in plain, clear language that your average consumer who doesn't know shit about EULAs can walk away not feeling cheated. And it doesn't say that it's mandatory, but it does advocate for having offline game modes. So, for example, Resident Evil Reverse, a dead game that I played the last stream, it has a tutorial mode. It has a sandbox mode, but they don't allow you to access it. You can't access any of the skins you bought. You can't access shit without connecting to Capcom servers. So once that game is dead, it is dead forever. That's a more recent example. And then so there are people with vested interests in making online games out there that want to steal ownership to determine what you can and cannot access and limit therein. There's a guy named Pirate Software that made like a smug video where he pretended not to understand Ross Scott's petition, even though like Ross Scott's thing is just a petition that he said himself that he doesn't know all the legal mumbo jumbo, that he just wants to put it on the radar of the lawmakers so they can come to a determinate conclusion and say like, okay, this is what ownership is, and actually define the articles of what ownership is. when it comes to video games. And this is extremely important. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when this language is going to be determined by the courts, because people are getting fed up right now of losing games. I'm sure, I'm not a fan of Resident Evil Reverse, but I bet that guy who got to level 120 and put in like fucking 200 hours to do it may want to continue to play the game, you know? And there are games like Ross's videos kind of go into better detail, but this is something I've brought up in my videos too, is that like there are so many games that have been locked down to systems that are proprietary, like PSN and the eShop and the Nintendo Wii Store and stuff like that, that the only way you can access these games now is through piracy, essentially, or archival means, archive.org. And then Nintendo's going around like shutting down these ROM repros and stuff that are actually preserving these games and making them accessible in the modern day. And then you have assholes like Pirate Software that pretend like they don't know the argument, that pretend like that Ross is like using a vague, unclear language when he clearly knows that's not what Ross's mission is with Stop Killing Games. And is too coward, too pussy to have like a conversation with Ross Scott, one of the nicest, humble guys on the internet. I don't even know if that dude swears, you know? Like Ross Scott has no illness in his heart. And I think he was too nice to Pirate Software and gave him the benefit of the doubt when he shouldn't have. You should never give a snake the benefit of the doubt. Ever. Okay? I think Ross should have gone harder on Pirate Software, but he didn't. He's a better man than I did. I am, because I was really pissed the fuck off for a long time. I'm glad, like, some of the bigger YouTubers out there, like, what's his name, Penguin Zero, gave Ross a real platform to bring his message forward, even though it's just like, hey guys, this is the exact same video that Ross made, but I'm just gonna stretch it out into 20 minutes. You know, all right, it's just like a recap of anyway. I'm glad it's getting some. I think it's got like over 100,000 signatures, and that's wonderful, because my boy Ross deserves better. He didn't deserve all that bullshit from Pirate Software. Pirate Software sucks. He's always sucked, and people are starting to wise up to it. Nobody with any ounce of common sense is taking Pirate Software's smug little diatribes. Like, he's got skin in the game. He's got a live service game. He's no expert on this matter. He's a snake in the grass. Fuck him. Fuck the rats. Likes in chat for the big bald heads. Where are my big bald bros at? Okay. We're about to get out of here. But I'm going to remind you right here, like for the rant, bang, we did it. We're going to bring this into the chiral network. We got to use our Cupid, which is our dog tags. I believe they're filled with chiral crystals or something. They connect the lost cities to the chiral network and then afford them all the structures and communication means. It brings them into the 21st century. This is a no rat stream. I'm not going to bust my keyboard over the monitor, BMJ style. Oh, wow. So we've expanded our range. And what I like so much about the map in this one now is that it's not 2D. Like, you get all the various depth. Like, it looks like a diorama. It's a beautiful map. We've got our first hemostatic grenade, the blood grenades, which we use to fight the BTs. We got a new structure. These are timefall shelters. They protect you from the rain that ages you. And they also restore the quality back to your packages. So if they're all rusty, they'll bring them back to shape. And then let's rest a little bit. Oh, they want me to fight some BTs. Should we fight some BTs? You guys, one in chat if I should fight some BTs. One in chat. Hold on.
Okay, throw me some numbers.
Throw me some numbers if I should... 1 in chat if I should fight the BTs. 2 in chat if we should just call it a night. 1 in chat, we're fighting BTs. 2 in chat, we're calling it a night. I will kill... If we get enough in there, I'll kill some BTs and then I will zip out of here before we do anything spoilery. Get those rats, says Frogman. I'm seeing ones. I'm seeing ones in chat. Alright, I'll do it for you. Just a little bit longer, though, because I gotta go. I gotta go and actually play this game for myself. So I can make a video on it. Okay, this may... Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. I'm actually going to capture this, because this may come up later on.
Sam, are you okay?
I'm fine. You guys?
The facility's intact, but the research lab might have taken a hit. The local chiralium levels appear to be rising. Better hurry over there, Sam. Head to the delivery terminal upstairs and check their order.
Okay, it looks like we're being attacked by BTs. So we're gonna go take care of business after we use the toilet. All ones! Unanimous. Thank you, guys. Good support this stream. Shout out to everyone in the archive as well. I'm trying not to spoil too much, okay? As I said, this is all early game stuff. I've been dicking around a lot doing all the side missions. I tend to take my time with a game like this. Savor it. We got a little message from Fragile. Fragile's looking after Lou, which is the baby. We just had a gatequake over here. Is everything okay where you are? A bit more shaking than usual, but no harm done. Lou's playing happily, like it never happened. You're close to the lab now, right? Keep at it, Sam. Alright, everything's good. Yeah, I'm not... Oh, okay, so we're way on up here. Maybe we have to go... Are we not? How far away is the lab? We're still in the prologue area. The best way I could describe it, it's like the ground zeros portion of Death Stranding 2. I believe there is a time jump. I don't know how long. I don't know where it's located, but the first part of the game takes place in Mexico. Norman Reedus Fetus. Norman Reedus and the Magic Fetus. I got a lot of junk on me. I really need to prepare, because I know I'm going to get into a battle here quickly.
Sam, we've got a situation. The delivery for the research lab is ready for transport, but the chiral density is higher than anticipated.
By the way, these holograms, a lot of the celebrity cameos, I think like Conan O'Brien and Jeff Keighley, they appear as these holograms. I think Conan actually voiced his character. But if you look inside of Kojima Studios, he has like this big orb of cameras all around the orb, all around the frame and lighting, and he does like a full 3D scan of all these actors. His motion capture studio, I think Nintendo also helped with the motion capture of some of the scenes in this one. I read an article about that today. All right, I already know how to fight BTs. It may be a little different than last time. Sam had an ability in Death Stranding 1 where he could use his handcuff to like cut the umbilical cord of the BTs. I don't know if I can do that anymore, or maybe later on. But what you need is his blood. So I'm going to carry a couple of these because that's like your ammo. And then you can fill it your blood grenades. So we're going to do 3. Oh, I don't have enough of those, so we'll let's try that again. So we'll get 2 blood bags, 2 grenades, and I don't know, does this assault rifle I don't think it comes with the blood. There are some blood guns you can get. So we'll fabricate all that. And then add it to Sam's. We'll just place everything in the backpack and then... Alright. And then we'll arrange Sam real quick. And then we'll... I think we have to defeat the BT, so we'll take on that.
You good to go? The new BT area we've identified. If we don't...
So, in the original Death Stranding, there's a strategy you can use. BTs are the ghosts. And, you can go out and just sneak through them all, if you want. Oh, there's blood bullets here. I see. And they're already providing me with blood grenades, so I'm, like, way too stacked. I'm way too stacked. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this shit. How many blood grenades do you really need? Okay, so let's, recycle this. We'll store that. Oh, wait. I need those, right? Okay, cool. So let's do a little management before I fight the BTs. But in the original Death Stranding, when you encounter BTs, you can sneak past them. You can individually kill all of them and harvest their crystals. Or you can get captured by them and summon the big boss. And if you summon the big boss and you defeat the big boss, it clears the area and it gives you a shit ton of crystals. And it's fun. And I always recommend doing that. Alright, we don't need this shit right now. Special alloys we'll get rid of. You know, I can just hit square. Okay, we need that bullet. We got 3 blood grenades. Well, we only need 2. We'll get... Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll get rid of 1 blood bag. And we'll recycle them. Okay. And then we'll hold triangle. Good to go. Alright. Head out. Alright. This is going to be fun. It's ghost busting time. I haven't explored this area, but we've encountered timefall. And what that rain does is it deteriorates all of your equipment. So you can build shelters. I think I have something where I can fabricate a shelter. So let me fabricate a shelter. I'll fabricate one closer to the objective. Yeah, I've got one, so I'll fabricate one when I get closer. Would be Kino if you're drinking Ghost, you rat. No. It's a Monster energy drink. We're sponsored by Monster today. I'll be drinking Ghost next time, though, for real. But this wasn't bad. I don't drink a lot of Monster, but this was a great flavor. If I drink Monster, I usually drink their rehab teas. I like the peach one in particular. Switch 2 version confirmed, says 4 Clubs. If they're gonna do Switch 2, I'm pretty sure Death Stranding 1 can run on the Switch 2. If Death Stranding 2 comes out, it may be one of those cloud versions, is my best guess. It would have to take a major visual downgrade. And, I think Death Stranding 1 runs in 60 frames on the Steam Deck, so... I know it runs on the iPhone. I haven't owned an iPhone in some time, so I can't really vouch for that, but... it runs on the iPhone, the latest model. Okay, so we got an earthquake. That's one of the environmental hazards. It can cause landslides. So you got to be mindful of boulders. Any disaster report heads in here? Is it Tai Zetsume Toshi? Look at this dude. I gotta give him some likes. He didn't have any likes. Oh, that's photo mode. No, we don't want to do any photos.
My name's Sam.
Frog Minute says, I've been drinking Ghost based off your Ghost Shilling. Great stuff. I like the cherry lime. Cherry lime's good. I recommend the sour pink lemonade. I don't know why. I just crave that one the most. I like sour drinks. The orange creamsicle, really good too. Out of all the energy drinks, Ghost has the least amount of ingredients. It doesn't like have any artificial dyes or things of that nature. And I just sip it. I recommend not chugging the whole thing down. Just gingerly sip it throughout the day and your energy levels should maintain okay without crashing. Yeah, like I drink like maybe a half a Ghost one day and the other half the other day. You know, I don't go too hardcore on it, despite what I've been doing on the cool streams. Okay, so that's where the BTs are. Everything in moderation, folks. Thanks, King. You're welcome. Yeah, I tried the Sour Patch Kids ones. The Swedish Fish one I found to be abhorrent because it's so sweet. The Swedish Fish I felt was the worst flavor. The grape one's really good. The Welsh's grape one, decent. If you can find the iced tea lemonade, go for that. It's so good. It's like an Arnold Palmer with carbonation. Okay, we're entering BT area, which means our aura deck is about to go off, and it's kind of like a ghost detector. But let's build a structure, timefall shelter, see if we're able to do so. Alright, so in Death Stranding, the rain causes everything to rust and decay. And you can get repair spray and bring everything back to like 100% durability. Or you can build a timefall shelter. And what this does is allow you to just like rest. So you can just chill out here for a little bit. And what this does is it allows you to like repair all your stuff. So right now it's spraying a mist and repairing all my packages. And it protects you from the rain. And an added benefit is it helps somebody else out there. So in somebody else's world, my timefall shelter will show up and they can chill out there and feel safe for a little bit. Now I have a feeling, if I remember Kojima's stream, I think this might be a boss fight. I don't know. Now you can hold your breath. Oh no, it spotted me. I was too close. I was too close! Okay, so this tar pit, they're kind of like the Lost Souls. You can jump, you can shake them off. The basic premise here is you can get to the outer ring of the tar pit. And then, let's see if I got my blood bullets here. So we'll try one of these blood grenades. And clear up the tar pit. Alright. Now we're gonna try that again. We don't have BB to help us out this time. Let's see if I can snatch him down and cut him. I can't cut their umbilical cord. That's a problem. Okay, that's not good. Well, let's see if my handgun can take blood bullets. I know I got those blood bullets on me somewhere. Wait, not here. It's this one? This one? Alright, so we got tools, special, canteen, secondary weapons. Where's that ammo? I know I got it. I know I have it on my person somewhere. Hat. Offload backpack. I think I have to go into the main menu. Let's take a look here. Because I know I carried those blood bullets on me here. Okay. Each round has been injected with that. Examine. Oh, I have anti-timefall clothing? That's cool. Carry in hands, attach a suit. Well, I guess it's used for... which gun is that? Okay. I think it's just my basic old handgun, so... We'll give it a try, but... It says machine pistol here. You can turn the light on and off. I don't know. I don't know if it can use... Oh, okay, so... None of these guns that I have right now can fight the BTs. So let's see if somebody left me a gun that's capable of fighting BTs. There we go. We'll leave this guy some likes. All right. Anti-timefall. Yeah, let's go ahead and trust that cargo.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated.
Get those likes.
To another border.
We got container spray, the Maser handgun. It can't be used on the prototype bullets. Okay. Assault rifle. Oh, blood grenades. I think it's just blood grenades, guys. For now. Unless I have some stuff that I can make. Oh, okay. Can it fire the prototype? No, those aren't. None of those can fight the prototype? None of them. None of them. Okay. We're blood grenades only. That's going to be weird. Tar eruption samples. All right, let's get packing. Yeah, we got some right there. Oh, somebody saw me. Let's get the hell out of here. Ah! Oh, we got caught. That's okay. Shake off the tarman. Brains. Alright, now we're gonna destroy him. It's not so bad. We're just dealing with the basic BTs right now. Alright, where in this area am I supposed to go? Looks like this is the objective, just the center? Okay, just the center. They're guarding something. Cuddly toy duck. Let's go grab that. Let's go ahead and ambush this guy. I don't really have any other means of defense at the moment. We're sending him to the far plane. Hey, what's up, Gabriel? What'd you miss? Not a whole lot. Right now we're BT hunting. I'm not sure if they want us to kill all of them, but we're going to kill a lot of them. Because we have some more blood grenades nearby. Yeah, so I do have to kill them. That's the goal here. Just clear them. And when you kill them, they leave behind these chiral crystals right here. Alright, there's another one nearby. I can see the umbilical cord. Is that him? There he is. Bloop! I'm out of grenades. That's not good. Let's scan the area for some more. I think there was some more in that storage container that guy left for me. Oh, no, 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 not that. Oh, no. Alright, I think we're good. Let's run. Nope! I was still too close. Let's go to our time fall. Oh, no! We tripped over a rock. Worst time for that. Okay, let's go over here and repair ourselves. Ah, we're safe. And now we're gonna go grab some more blood grenades here. You can hide in that post box. That's new. Well, I think there were some inside of there. Or maybe it's in the share? Oh, they only left one thing for me in there. So let's fabricate some more blood grenades, I guess. I can only make one. That's not good. I think you can recycle some of these crystals. So I'm going to recycle... Yeah, that sounds good. Because you can make the blood grenades out of those crystals, so... And now we'll fabricate a couple of those. Can we get those? Yeah, we got 3 of them. That's good. That should do it. I think. Why not? Okay. Alright, let's get those grenades out. Yeah, we're gonna clear this place. I think each one of those comes with 5 grenades. Let's bust some ghosts. Oh, oh. I see the strand. Blam! You get more sophisticated weapons, so if you're like watching the stream and you're like, you just throw grenades. No, you get a whole bunch of other stuff. You get like sniper rifles, machine guns, handguns, rocket launchers, and I'm sure a whole bunch of other stuff later on too, but I can't speak for late game content. You want to get these chiralium crystals. They're used for everything. They're the most important material in the game. You get them from hunting ghosts. Oh, there's some more over here. Oh, I see him. Let's get the boy up here. And then his friend. Yeah, BTs were pretty easy to avoid in Death Stranding 1. You had a number of ways to avoid combat, or you could you can get this handcuff in Death Stranding 1 where you can cut their umbilical cords, which is what I use the most. Oh, We did it.
Ambient chiral density has fallen to within normal
Hold on.
range. BT threat neutralized.
Wake up.
Please deliver.
There we go. Alright, that's all we had to do. I'm going to clear this area real quick of chiralium crystals, and then we'll head back and claim our bounty. And if there's lost cargo, I tend to like go around and grab that. So there's some Timefall clothing all the way over there. Death Stranding's combat does get more complicated than that. This was literally the first encounter with the BTs, so they just gave you some baby ones. Baby BTs. But if you do let them carry you down into the muck, into the tar, I believe it still will spawn the boss. So I guess I could have tried that out, but I don't think I'm in any shape to take on any of the bosses just yet. And this, here's my Timefall shelter. We're just going to clear up all the packages, but I don't even think I need that anymore, so we'll head back. Hopefully, no more earthquakes along the way. There are a lot of robots, but I haven't messed with any of the robots in Death Stranding 2. A big part of the plot of Death Stranding 2 is that porters are now becoming out of date because they're being replaced by autonomous delivery vehicles. Except in Mexico. In Mexico, they do things by the old ways. Everything's on foot. For now. So that's why they called out Mexico, because they called Sam to Mexico to help out build a new chiral network down there. Okay, we got an earthquake coming. Which can cause... You see, look, the boulders are coming down. It causes a rock slide. I haven't been hit by a rock yet, but if you're in a snowy area, it'll cause a landslide. Muddy areas... they've created a lot of biomes for this one. Yeah, social commentary. Kojima does a whole bit on AI in this one, apparently. But just workers, that's one thing that I'm sure he recognized after the COVID era, is that workers were starting to be replaced by kiosks. And autonomous things. There's autonomous vehicles and Amazon warehouse robots, and I mean it's an inevitability. Sadly. So I'm sure like the themes of this will be disconnection or the elimination of the human element. Bam! You can find PlayStation 1s and PSPs in Death Stranding 1. There's a retro game collector that lives inside a cave. He lives in a literal neat nest. And he collects PSPs and PS1s and shit. And you make friends with him by finding them and then delivering them to him. There's also artifacts from the old world, so you can find like DVDs and Blu-rays and shit. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, let's deliver this package, and we're going to call it a stream. It's been a good one. Folks, I've been Hikiko. We got to come up with something silly to say. Yeah, let's get all of that in there. I've found a fossil, found tar samples, headache pills. Alright. Alright, let's chill in our room here, and I'll say bye-bye to everyone. Yeah, I'm in Death Stranding. I'm officially there. I'm canon. We're big bald head bros in here. I also got this right there. Got my little star. Okay, so this is Death Stranding 2. It doesn't come out officially, I guess, until tomorrow. on disc. But you can get it digitally now. I typically don't buy digital games, but there are certain occasions when I know I'm going to buy a game twice, like Silent Hill 2. I did that with Death Stranding, big occasion. So I've been playing it nonstop. I love it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I streamed this game to my Steam Deck from my PS5. My Steam Deck has a program called Chiaki. I think that's from Persona 4, but Chiaki is a remote play program where you can put in the MAC address and all that information. Hold on, we got a super chat from Ricky Schwartz. Thank you so much. May the Schwartz be with you. As a mailman, I'm glad Kojima is finally telling our stories. Thanks for the stream. Speaking your truth. Yeah, I mean, the porters in Death Stranding were based off of a special real delivery man in Japan. There are these porters in Japan that go up into the mountainous regions, and they stack up all these cargo, like they bring like medical supplies and food and other things to these very remote villages out in Japan, and they're based off of a real type of porter. So yeah, it looks silly when Sam stacks all these cargo containers and stuff, but it's actually a real thing. And mailmen, porters, Amazon delivery drivers, DoorDashers and all that are a huge part of our economy, a huge part of our daily lives now. So yeah, underrated. Ricky, I don't know if I could do what you do, but I'm glad you do it. Shout out to all the mailmen, all the porters out there. Show me your porter card, by the way. Death Stranding 2, it's out on PSN right now, Digital Deluxe, or you can get the physical copy, which I'll be getting. Hopefully they come out with the director's cut, because I'm sure he wanted to add more, but it's a phenomenal game. It's like if you even liked the first Death Stranding, this is all that and more. It's got a lot of familiar faces. I think Mads Mikkelsen isn't, and this is no spoiler, but Mads Mikkelsen is not returning for this one, except for I think in archival footage. But Lea Seydoux in it. Norman Reedus, Guillermo del Toro. There's a new French actor who looks like Solid Snake. I think. Oh, and George Miller, the director of Mad Max, is in it. That all that stuff was in the trailer, by the way. I'm not spoiling anything major. I don't know their. Oh, and Elle Fanning is in it. So you got some heavy hitters. He's got the star. All the stars are here. But may the God of Mail guide you. Yes. So guys, it's been a cool stream. If you've been watching, if you've been hanging with this stream, only secret passphrase club members know this. Keep on keeping on. That's the magic phrase. So if you made it this far, I want to see the comment. Keep on keeping on. And if you guys get Death Stranding 2, let me know. Let me know how you're liking it. You can hit me up on the comments. I read those. You can hit me up on Twitter, on Discord. If you hate it, let me know. It's just like, he tricked me, Hikiko, once again. But no, I'm telling you right now, if you like the kind of games I show on my channel, Death Stranding is like peak for real. I love this series, and I think I read an article where they said it's like Kojima at his max power or something. Like he's taken everything he's learned, and it's true. It's gonna give you an experience unlike anything else. So yeah. All right. I want to see 40 likes by the end of the day. We got 37 likes. I want to see 40 likes by night's end. We can do it. All right, I'll catch y'all later. See ya.